The descendants of Abraham have long been entangled in enduring disputes, and even today, many remain unaware of the deep historical and spiritual roots behind the ongoing conflict between Palestine and Israel. Most people see these issues as surface-level political debates, yet the truth runs far deeper than commonly understood. In this video, I will delve into the true origins and intricate nature of the struggle between Palestinians and Israelis, between Jews and Arabs, unveiling the historical and biblical foundations that shaped it. I invite you to like, comment, and share this video with those who still seek to understand the real essence of this enduring tension. Stay tuned as we uncover the hidden origins of the Israel-Palestine conflict. The armed Islamic extremist group Hamas launched a surprise assault by bombarding Israel, marking one of the most significant attacks the nation has faced in recent years. Hamas claimed that this offensive signaled the beginning of a major operation to reclaim what it views as its rightful territory. The ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine is a deeply rooted and complex struggle, shaped by political, religious, and even ancestral ties between the two peoples. For decades, it has resulted in immense human suffering, leaving behind thousands of casualties on both sides. On the 7th of this month, Hamas carried out its unexpected bombardment of Israel, causing hundreds of deaths and injuries. The attack, considered by Israelis as one of the gravest in recent memory, primarily targeted the southern regions of the country, where thousands of rockets were fired. According to Israeli military reports, several militants infiltrated Israeli territory from the Gaza Strip. While the hostility between Israel and Palestine stretches back centuries, its modern phase began in 1947, when the United Nations proposed dividing British-controlled Palestine into two states, one Jewish and one Arab. Jewish leaders accepted the plan, but Arab leaders rejected it, and the proposal was never enacted. When Britain withdrew, Jewish leaders declared the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, igniting outrage among Palestinians and triggering the First Arab-Israeli War. Over subsequent decades, territorial disputes continued, culminating in the Six-Day War of 1967, which reshaped the region's boundaries. After its victory, Israel seized the West Bank and East Jerusalem, then under Jordanian control, as well as the Gaza Strip, which was administered by Egypt. This led to the displacement of nearly 500,000 Palestinians. Since then, despite intermittent conflicts and failed peace efforts, Israel has annexed East Jerusalem, home to sites sacred to Christians, Jews, and Muslims alike, and continues to occupy the West Bank. However, in 2005, Israel withdrew its forces and settlers from the Gaza Strip, which has remained under Hamas control since 2007. The resolution of the Israel-Palestine conflict remains hindered by seemingly insurmountable disputes, including Israel's security borders, the status of Jerusalem, and the right of return for Palestinian refugees who fled or were expelled from their homeland. Although numerous peace initiatives have been attempted, few have yielded lasting results. One of the Palestinians' primary demands is an end to the ongoing colonization of their territories, particularly the expansion of Israeli settlements. According to 2017 data, approximately 600,000 Israeli settlers were living in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. Conversely, Israel insists on being recognized as a Jewish state, an acknowledgement Palestinians reject, fearing it would undermine the right of return for displaced refugees. The delay in establishing an independent Palestinian state, along with Israel's blockade of the Gaza Strip, continues to intensify the complexity of the situation. Both sides also face internal challenges that make meaningful compromise difficult. Over time, the Palestinian National Authority has lost credibility among many Palestinians due to the stagnation of peace efforts and allegations of corruption. This loss of trust paved the way for the rise of Hamas, a powerful Islamic movement in Palestinian politics. But what exactly is Hamas? Hamas, whose name in Arabic is an acronym for Islamic Resistance Movement, is one of the most influential Islamic organizations in the Palestinian territories. It is officially designated as a terrorist organization by Israel, the United States, the European Union, the United Kingdom, and several other global powers, resulting in severe financial and diplomatic restrictions. Hamas was founded in 1987 during the First Intifada, a Palestinian uprising against Israeli occupation in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Following the decline in credibility of the Palestinian National Authority, Hamas achieved a decisive victory in the 2006 legislative elections in Gaza, effectively ousting the Palestinian Authority from local governance and consolidating its control over the region. Hamas is part of a broader regional alliance that includes Iran, formerly Persia, Syria, ancient Aram, and the Shiite militant group Hezbollah based in Lebanon. This alliance collectively opposes U.S. policies in the Middle East, particularly those supporting Israel. In its founding charter, Hamas established two primary objectives: to promote armed resistance against Israel and to provide social welfare programs for Palestinians. In 2017, the organization revised its charter, moderating some of its earlier positions. The new document emphasized that Hamas's struggle is not directed against Jews as a people, but against what it describes as Zionist occupation. Israel, however, responded by accusing Hamas of attempting to mislead the international community. Many online commentators, due to limited understanding of ancient biblical lineages, often claim that Palestinians are pure descendants of Ishmael, in contrast to the Israelites, who descend from Isaac, the son of Abraham's wife Sarah. Yet, the reality is far more intricate. While Palestinians do possess Ishmaelite ancestry, they also share significant Jewish lineage. Historically, many Jews converted to Islam and gradually assimilated into Arab culture, adopting Arab identities while losing direct awareness of their Jewish roots. Thus, the origins of the Palestinian people cannot be reduced to a simple distinction between Ishmaelite Arabs and Jews. Many Palestinians today descend from a blend of Ishmaelite Arabs, descendants of Ishmael, and ancient Jewish populations. Moreover, genetic and historical evidence also links Palestinians to an ancient group known as the Hagarenes or Hagrites, mentioned in the Bible. This tribe, a branch of the Ishmaelites, inhabited the regions of Jetur, Naphish, and Nodab, located east of Gilead. The name derives from Hagar, the Egyptian servant of Abraham and mother of Ishmael, whose story continues to hold deep historical and theological significance. Hagar was originally an Egyptian princess, but before becoming a concubine, she served as a slave in the household of Abraham, attending to both Abraham and his wife, Sarah. How she came to be in this position is a fascinating story rooted in the Torah. When Abraham left his homeland of Ur and journeyed to the land of Canaan, he encountered a severe famine that forced him to travel to Egypt in search of food and provisions. There, he came before the Pharaoh of that era, a powerful and renowned ruler. Fearing that Pharaoh might be captivated by Sarah's beauty and kill him to take her, Abraham devised a plan and claimed that Sarah was his sister. Sarah agreed, though the deception placed her in great danger. As the story unfolds, Pharaoh indeed took an interest in Sarah and brought her into his household. However, divine intervention soon followed. A plague struck Pharaoh's palace, afflicting his household and preventing him from approaching Sarah. Realizing his error and recognizing the power of Abraham's God, Pharaoh repented and returned Sarah to Abraham unharmed. Deeply moved by what had transpired, Pharaoh reportedly turned to his daughter and said, "My daughter, I have never witnessed anything like this. There is a true God, and these people serve him. It is better for you to be a servant in their house than a princess among idol worshippers." Thus, Hagar, Pharaoh's daughter, chose to leave behind her royal status to become a monotheistic servant in Abraham's household. Abraham and Sarah had been married for 60 years without children. Eventually, Sarah, believing she might be unworthy of bearing the promised heir, urged Abraham to take Hagar as a concubine so that he might have a descendant. From this union, Ishmael was born, the son of Abraham and Hagar. What many may not realize is that Palestinians are not solely descendants of Ishmael. Alongside Ishmaelite lineage, they also carry ancestry from ancient Jewish and Hagarene roots, and even traces of Edomite heritage. Over time, these groups intermingled and migrated across the region, with their central settlements historically located around what is now Jordan. However, these groups also settled in the region now known as Palestine, including the Gaza Strip, where they intermingled with Jews, Ishmaelites, Hagarenes, and various other Semitic peoples. As a result, the modern Palestinian population represents a blend of all these ancestral lineages. The truth regarding this conflict, both in terms of kinship and faith, is that Palestinians trace their heritage to Ishmael, while Jews descend from Judah, the son of Jacob, who was the son of Isaac and grandson of Abraham. These two lineages are therefore deeply interconnected, forming two branches of a shared ancestral tree. Genetic research has consistently confirmed the close relationship between Palestinians and Jews, as well as genetic links with other groups across the Middle East, including Lebanese, Syrians, Jordanians, Saudis, and Arabs from the United Arab Emirates. These findings demonstrate that these peoples share a common Semitic ancestry. While it was once said that Arabs and Jews were cousins, the reality is that they are genetically more like siblings. The primary genetic distinction between Jewish and Arab populations arises from historical Jewish migrations into Europe, where limited intermixing with European populations introduced minor genetic variations. Nonetheless, Palestinians, Lebanese, Jordanians, and other neighboring groups remain part of the same Semitic ethnic family. These genetic findings underscore the profound shared origins of the peoples in the region, despite the religious and political divides that continue to fuel conflict. Both Jews and Arabs are Semitic, yet the roots of their struggle are not purely genetic. They are deeply tied to the evolution of their respective faiths over millennia. Islam, founded by the Prophet Muhammad around 600 AD, emerged centuries after Judaism, which had long been established in the region. Before the rise of Islam, many Arabs practiced various pagan traditions, though some adhered to monotheistic beliefs akin to those of the Jews. Historical accounts, including those from early Arab historians, trace Arab ancestry to Ishmael and even to Canaan, both connected to Abraham's lineage and the broader Semitic family. One notable example is Jethro, an Arab priest from Midian of Edomite descent, who possessed knowledge of the divine scriptures. According to biblical tradition, Moses lived in Jethro's household for many years and married one of his daughters, Zipporah. This connection further illustrates the intertwined heritage between the Israelites and other Semitic tribes. It is crucial to clarify, however, that the common belief that all Arabs descend from Ishmael is inaccurate. The Arab identity encompasses a diversity of Semitic groups, including Ishmaelites, Midianites, Moabites, Ammonites, and others. Moreover, there are additional Semitic peoples who are not ethnically Arab but still share linguistic and genetic ties with them. Thus, while Ishmael's lineage forms an important part of Arab ancestry, it is only one branch within a much broader Semitic heritage. Thank you for watching until the end. Share your thoughts in the comments. Were you already aware of the deep kinship between Arabs and Jews? God bless you all, and see you in the next video.